Hey, Bears fans. It's the Monday after the draft. Today is April the 28th, and it's time for Bears Latest. We're going to go ahead and jump right in with the second round and go all the way through the remaining picks. There were also undrafted free agents that signed after the fact. We're going to cover those in tomorrow's episode. So if you're wondering, Brandon, why aren't you covering any of the UDFAs? That's the reason why, because there's a lot of ground to cover there. Plus, I want to go back and watch some of the videos, some of the highlights, and try to see why the Bears signed who they signed after the fact, and why they didn't pick them up perhaps during the draft, or what stuck out that are some great qualities that could be a diamond in the rough from some of those UDFAs. So first thing first. Luther Burden. Holy crap, guys. This is not a typical Bears pick. First of all, this is a luxury pick, but it is a very smart, calculated luxury pick. Um, Another outstanding weapon added to this roster. Our new slot receiver, pretty much. He looks like he's got some gadget to him, maybe a little bit of Deebo Samuel. Could even be better than Deebo as long as his head is in the game and he's focused. There's a lot of people that have made comments that there are times where he he gets a little lackadaisical and when his heart isn't completely into it. But people like Jamison Williams, who actually played high school ball with him, said the guy is an absolute dog and is ready to go out and play his butt off. He's a difference maker. A lot of people felt that the offense at Missouri, especially this last season, um, it wasn't a good fit for him. He wasn't as productive there. But the talent, just looking at the talent and also looking at Antoine Randall L. If you watched any of the coverage, Antoine Randall L. was through the roof ecstatic. You know, I'm sitting with my family. We had just got back from dinner, and we're like two or three picks away from getting Luther Burden, and they panned over to the draft room, and you see Randall L. right there on the phone, absolutely ecstatic. And I look over and I just think, oh my gosh, they're going to go and get Luther Burden because that's the only whiteout that made sense in that part right there. And lo and behold, that was the pick. And I think a lot of people were shocked, but also a lot of people were like, dang, that is a steal. He's a lot of people are saying that he is our Amon Ra for the defense or for the offense, excuse me. Uh, it's yet to be seen. He might be used in a number of packages. Colston Loveland, our first round pick, which we talked a little bit about the other day. There's even talks about him being involved in potential run plays. And trick plays and such like that. So, and as we know, Ben was accustomed to using some very unique offensive packages up there in Detroit. So I totally can see that happening here in Chicago. Great pick. But then from there, we jump to a trade. We end up trading down, which I believe we traded with Buffalo. And while I'm sure the Bears were trying to play the board and also gain more capital in the process, I went, what in the heck are you guys doing? You have Ariante Ursary, the left tackle out of Minnesota, still on the board, and you can scoop him up, and you've got a day one starter right there at left tackle. But you end up trading out of that to gain more capital, and more running backs went off the board. Ursary went off the board. And we get down to this pick at 56. And at first I went, who? What? Ozzy Trapillo from Boston College, right tackle, ended up being the pick at 56. And, I definitely am not hating the player at all. It's just where he was picked in the draft. Some people thought he was going to end up being a third round pick. Didn't even have a third round pick to begin with. So you got to keep that in mind that, yeah, maybe it was a little bit of a reach, but we had three picks in the second round. King Poles reigns again and is making things happen to get us 3 picks in round 2. So the pick made me scratch my head a little bit, but after I thought about it, I'm thinking, you know what? I know Darnell Wright is at right tackle, but who's to say that with his intangibles and everything that he can't move to the blind side? He might end up being the left tackle. Ozzy's natural position is right tackle. And they may want to plug and play him right from day one and use this offseason here to get Darnell Wright ready to play the left side. Or, I mean, the Bears, this new coaching staff is getting their hands on Karan Amagaji. They're getting their hands on Braxton Jones. There could be some real growth there and some real strength with those guys. So as much as I want to say, what the hell are you doing, Chicago? I'm also going, this is a new coaching staff. It's a new direction. The way that they speak, they actually have a plan and it's calculated that they see growth and potential here. And they're building something special. And I have to remind myself that there's a reason why I'm not a GM. There's a reason why I'm an armchair quarterback. And I have to trust the process here. And from what I see on paper, and from the way I see, they're putting a lot of emphasis on still improving the line, but also making some exterior changes there with possibly Darnell Wright kicking out there. I think I think that's very possible. So as much as I wanted to go, what are y'all doing at 56 doing this? This just seems like a reach. The guy has got good makeup, big guy, massive, and looks like he's very good in his position as well. So it'll be interesting to see how training camp and things like that work out, and see what the Bears end up touting out there when they start their off season, the training camp. So that was the second round in a nutshell. Except, wait, one more guy, and this one is actually a very intriguing name. Shemar Turner from Texas A&M, the defensive tackle, defensive lineman, was picked at pick 62. And I like this pick. I really like this pick because Dennis Allen has got a really unique weapon to play around with. I think this dude is going to be very aggressive and is going to attack and dominate and will be absolutely successful. I think it gives the Bears an opportunity to roll Turner outside and bring him back inside. There's rumors that Javon Dexter, with him trimming down with his weight, he might be kicked out to the end as well. So you might be seeing a rotation with these guys in different packages. It'll be interesting to see what Dennis Allen comes up with. But this guy is absolutely aggressive. He plays with a high motor. He's also gotten quite a few personal fouls as well. Sometimes he does not stop when the whistle blows. And so that is going to be something that the coaching staff is going to be working on right off the bat. So high motor kid, looks like he could be great on the inside, playing alongside Grady Jarrett and company, Andrew Billings. But it looks like he could even roll out to the outside. So it'll be unique to see what they do with Shemar Turner. So all in all, that second round, I give it a solid B plus. I think they did address some needs. It's just not what we assumed they were going to. They didn't come away with a running back yet. But all in all, it was still a pretty good haul for the second round. And then we obviously took the rest of the night off, and we didn't have the third round. So we ended up going right into Saturday and get to the final day of the draft. And we had Cam Scattaboo on the board. Dylan Sampson was on the board. There was some definite players there that we could get to play day one. But then we find out, trade. We trade again, and we get a fourth round pick for next year for 2026, which I thought was super cool because that basically it's a wash with losing the fourth rounder next year that we used to trade to get Joe Thuney. So we get a fourth rounder back. But the pick, oh my gosh, Ruben Hippolyte I heard the name and I'm like, who is this guy? And I was really embarrassed and I felt bad because he's from Maryland. He's in the Big Ten, and I follow Michigan and Ohio State and such, and I just didn't remember him popping up. And went back and did a little research. The guy is super fast for a linebacker. We're talking like 4.4 speed. Some people have said he's like a bullet out on the field. That he is fast and has good range. Um, but a lot of people had projected him in the seventh round to an undrafted free agent. But the way that it's looking is that with the way our linebacking room is we definitely need an upgrade there. They're talking that maybe Hippolyte might even kick to the weak side, be on that outside there, and take advantage of his speed. And he could be developing into a special player. But I also think it shows that either the Bears are not done adding to the linebacking room. They're going to look at free agents still, guys that are still out there looking for a home for next season, or internally, guys like Noah Sewell and Micah Baskerville and those guys have an opportunity to show up and show out. Uh, so I think Hippolyte definitely seems like a really good special teams guy, but he could be in some packages there. So be curious to see how the development goes there. But it seemed like a reach to me that they went up and got him there in the fourth round. Now this one was unique. Zoff Frazier, cornerback out of UTSA. Um, Ended up snagging him in the fifth round at pick 169. And this was a pick that Al Harris, our new secondary coach, was all about. He likes the guy's size. He's big and lanky, and he has a knack for getting his hands on the ball, which that is something that Al Harris has said in his pressers, that he's all about getting players to get their hands on the ball, because when you have your hands on the ball, you have an opportunity to turn it over and to force a turnover from the other team, and to make deflections to take that ball away for an interception, things of that nature. It was a must get for Al Harris. So I was curious because we are loaded at cornerback. I think it's one of our strongest positions on this roster. But also keep in mind, some players, depending on their speed, their size, their tackling abilities, he could even him or another player on our roster might even be converted into safety. Because keep in mind, we have two safeties that are free agents after this year, and Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. So maybe even molding one of those guys into a safety is a possibility. But I think it looks like it's a potential steal. But again, it seems kind of like a luxury pick because, again, we still haven't found a running back yet. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We're in the fifth round and we still haven't found a running back. And running backs, we just came up short throughout the draft trying to find one. But who knows? Spoiler alert, we might find one later. We move into the sixth round, and Luke Newman from Michigan State. Hello, Newman. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you get it. He joins us from Michigan State, pick 195. He is actually a pretty versatile lineman in his career at Michigan State. He's played all over the line, and initial rumors have him kicking in and playing center, a potential center of the future, perhaps, or maybe playing guard. He could even be a swing tackle. It sounds like we've got a utility guy that can make some things happen. He might even be like Ryan Bates was supposed to be last year. Still don't know about Ryan Bates. He could even become a cap casualty because of all this talent coming in, and Ben Johnson's influence along with Dan Roshar. But unique pick. So definitely the trenches are starting to get shored up a little bit more. And then we move into the seventh round, last pick of the draft, pick 233, and Kyle Monangai. I've heard all sorts of different pronunciations of his name, but it's Kyle Monangai, running back out of Rutgers. And this guy might have been a steal. watching this guy on tape. He's shorter, he's a smaller guy. A lot of people have been comparing him to Ray Rice. When Ray Rice came out of Rutgers, went to the Ravens, he had a pretty successful run to his career starting out. Um, this guy could be the same. He's small, but he's a hard-nosed, hard running back. He's been productive the last couple seasons. He's had back-to-back 1,200-yard seasons and scores touchdowns. So he has had success. And this could be like another Isaiah Pacheco, where in the rough, 11th round, and we run away with it. So we did get our running back. It was later than expected. But hey, it is what it is. We've got a guy in there. But it also shows that maybe, this coaching staff, Eric Bieniemy and company, they like what they have with DeAndre Swift. And maybe they see some really good potential there with Roshan Johnson. Well, and Ian Wheeler. And you've got Travis Homer in there, which he's probably going to end up being special teams anyways. But, it's not a terrible running back room at all. But something interesting came out today. SI ended up breaking this. Rumor has it that Nick Chubb, former running back at Cleveland, is signing with an NFC North team. That's all that's been said. Guy from 92.3, The Fan in Cleveland, Ken Carman, got to make sure I give credit where credit is due, said that Nick Chubb is preparing to sign a contract with a team out of the NFC North. And the way you look at the NFC North right now, there's only one team that makes sense, and that's the Bears, because you already have a full room there in Detroit. Obviously, Green Bay is looking very solid. And then you also look at Minnesota, like the running back rooms look like they're pretty well set there for those teams. The only one that looks like it has real starter potential, or has the opportunity for some good production, would be Chicago. So don't be surprised if you start hearing in the coming hours or in the next day or so that Nick Chubb ends up getting his opportunity to continue his career by coming to Chicago. And I think that would be a huge get for this team. And I think you're going to see Nick Chubb basically become like, I want to say kind of like Jahmyr Gibbs. And DeAndre Swift is going to be like, or actually to be David Montgomery style. And then DeAndre Swift would be like a Jahmyr Gibbs type. It would be sort of like that, not 100% the same, but that makes that offense even stronger. And I'm here for it. I would like to see that. And plus, it would give Monangai an opportunity to learn behind a stud running back in Nick Chubb. It just will make our team better. Before we wrap up for today, got to wish a couple happy birthdays here. Former Bear, Mark Carrier. We drafted him in the first round back in 1990. If you remember, believe he played cornerback and safety in the league. But he played his first few seasons in Chicago. He still holds, I believe, a rookie record for the Bears for interceptions. Might even be a record for the Bears in the league, where he had 10 interceptions his rookie year. So pretty cool stuff there. I was still a young pup then, about 7 years old at that time, but do remember seeing a lot of Mark Carrier in the 90s. Very good player. And our new addition to the Bears family here, Grady Jarrett. Happy birthday, buddy. 32, I believe he is today. So happy birthday to you. Can't wait to see what he's able to bring to the line, and just to the team in general as a leader, because the guy is an absolute beast and an absolute great guy, and is great with his team. So very, very super excited. I know a lot of people, just kind of wrapping up with the draft, a lot of people have been very critical. But the way I see it, it looks like there's some good talent already on this team, and we're just looking to get some good competition to help continue to build the team, get some good depth there. So I'm an optimist here. I'm not going to trash it. Again, I'm not a GM, but I do feel like we have a competent staff here, and we've got a good direction on where this franchise is going. So don't forget, hit subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you like this video. And been already reading some of your guys' comments. I know we had some Ashton Genty hopefuls there last week. Sorry we didn't get Ashton Genty, but it looks like we had some really good consolation prizes right there in Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. So make sure you comment. If you have questions, things you want me to look into, please leave a comment. And again, subscribe. And again, bear down. We'll see you tomorrow.